Chapter number 5, Data Handling, Class 8. Let's start this chapter. We need informations like numerical values, facts, figures, which are the observations, and the collection of the observations is called data. The important terms are data, any information collected in the form of numbers, words, symbols, and measurements, or in any other form, is called data. Raw data, we can say, the collection of observations gathered initially by the observer is called the raw data, or we can say it is a primary data. Now there is one more variety, secondary data, the collection of observations gathered by the observer from the already stored data or already collected source is called the secondary data. For example, when a teacher wants to find who is the absent in the class, so he or she can refer the attendance register of that particular class, and by that she or he can observe who is the absent in the class on that particular day. So the teacher referring the attendance register where the attendance is marked already. So this example is the collection of secondary data. So our chapter is data handling. So what is the meaning of this data handling? It means to collect and present the data so that it could be used in further studies and to find some results. Data handling is referred to the procedure done to organize the information provided in order to perform mathematical operations on them. So, in this sense, first we have to organize the collected data where the raw data is unorganized. So, to draw meaningful inferences, we organize this data. So, there are various ways to organize the data. They are by arranging the data in the ascending or descending order or by the frequency distribution table. Here we have a grouped data. So for the grouped data we find the frequency. Now meaning of the frequency is the number of times that a particular observation or event or particular value or particular data occurs. Whereas this grouped frequency distribution says a large amount of raw data is represented by making groups. If we have the large amount of data and we cannot arrange in that ascending or descending order, or we are not able to write the data as it is large to represent the data in the table. So we make the groups of the class intervals and obtained a frequency distribution of the number of observations falling in each group. So let's understand this by an example. If there is a list of marks of 40 students in a school or in a class, arrange this in grouped frequency distribution table. For this we will do, first of all, we have to observe the data. We are observe the data, and after this we see that the lowest number in the given data is 27 and the highest number is 78. So we can make intervals if 20 to 30 and second interval 30 to 40, then third interval 40 to 50, next interval 50 to 60, and so on up to the highest number in this data is 78. So we have to form the class intervals up to 70 to 80. So we can make the table as 20 to 30. How many numbers lies between 20 to 30, where all the numbers from 20 to 29 will include this class interval except 30. So there are 5 frequencies or 5 students. When we are taking 30 to 40 class interval, so it is 30 to 39, but 40 will not include in this class. So there are 8 students. 40 to 50 is there. So include 40 to 49, but 50 will not include. So there are 9 students. 50 to 60. So 50 to 59 will be included and 60 will not include in this group. So there are 10 students. As 60 to 70 we get 6 students and 70 to 80 we get 2 students. Whenever we are forming the class intervals, this should be continuation, where the first class is ending, the second class should start from that number only, but the upper limit as 20 to 30, 20 is the lower limit and 30 is the upper limit. So in this class group, lower limit will be included and the upper limit will not include, and that upper limit will include in the next class interval 30 to 40, and here again the upper class limit will not include in this particular group, it will include in the next group. So like this we have to form the frequency distribution table. Now let's talk about the graphical representation of data. So in earlier classes also we have done the graphical representation. So the grouped data can be represented graphically for its clear picture, and it is the easiest way to understand the data. By observing any picture or by observing any graphical representation, we can conclude or we can understand the data very easily. So there are types of graphs. First we have studied in the class 6th pictograph. When we represent the data through pictures or symbols to the objects, then it is known as pictograph. As we have prepared in the earlier class 6th, we are making any symbol for the given observation, number of observations, and we can draw the pictures like this. So as here we can observe that if one tree represents, one symbol of a tree represent 10 trees, so we can easily say number of trees of apples are 10 plus 10 plus 10, that is 30. Peach is 10 plus 10 plus 10, that is 40. Guava is 5 into 10, 50, and pear is 10 into 2, that is 20. So here one tree represent 10 trees, that means we are taking a symbol of tree to show 10 number of trees, and we can easily read the pictograph. This graph shows, as we have done, 30 trees of apples and so on. The second is bar graph. In the bar graph, the information represented by the bars of the same width with equal gaps, but the height of the bars represent the respective values. So as we know that a pictorial representation of data using the rectangles, or we can say bar, with uniform width and having equal space between any two bars, as we can observe in this figure, where the x-axis shows the names of the pets and the y-axis shows the number of votes. So here the name of pets are represented on the horizontal line x, and the values of the respective pets are shown by the height of the bars on the y-axis. There is an equal gap between each bar. This is the important, that there is equal space between the bars. In the class 7th, we have done the double bar graph. So it is, to compare some data, we can use the double bar graph, as it shows the information of two quantities simultaneously. So for the comparison, we draw the double bar graph. So simultaneously we can observe for two quantities. As this picture shows the double bar graph for the marks of the student in test 1 and test 2. The students are Parul, Sinha, Vinsta, Arjun and John. So first test and the second test. So easily we can compare. The Sinha got 45 marks in first test and 50 marks in second test. Similarly, Vinsta got 60 marks in first test and 70 marks in second test. Arjun got 65 marks in first test and 80 marks in second test. Similarly, John got 55 marks in first test and 65 marks in second test. And when we are drawing the double bar graph, to represent the two quantities, we have to differentiate them by drawing the different colors or by the shading of the bars. So here in the above graph, it represents the marks of the students in two different tests altogether. So we can say the compare will be easy between the first and second test of a student. Now the next variety of graphical representation is histogram, which we have to study in this class. So the meaning of the histogram is the bar graph of the grouped frequency distribution or the continuous class interval is called a histogram. In bar graph, we are drawing the data for which the data is not continuous. Here we have to make the data in continuous class intervals and we will draw the histogram. So the histogram is the bar graph using the bars of uniform width and having no space between any two bars. Remember, the difference between the bar graph and the histogram is only this, that in the bar graph there are equal space between the two bars, whereas in the histogram there is no gap between the two bars. For making the histogram, we have to follow the points. The horizontal axis represent the class intervals. The frequency of the class interval is represented by the height of the bars. Since there is no gap between the class intervals, there is no gap between the bars. And below is the histogram representing the distribution of marks scored out by 20 by 24 students is shown in this. the next representation of the data is histogram. This we have to study in this class 8th. So it says the bar graph of the grouped frequency distribution or continuous class interval is called the histogram, or we can say in another words, a histogram is a pictorial representation of data using bars of uniform width having no space between them. There is, when we are talking about the bar graph, there is a uniform width of the rectangles and equal space between the bars. Whereas when we are talking about the histogram, there is no gap between any two bars. So when we make a histogram, we have to remember on the horizontal axis, that is x-axis, we represent the class intervals. The frequency of the class intervals is represented by the height of the bars, and this frequency will show on the y-axis. Since there is no gap between the class intervals, so there is no gap between the bars also. One example of the histogram is showing the weekly wages of the workers by the histogram. This is the histogram where by observing this we can say the rectangles drawn for the number of workers according to their wages of the class intervals, there is no gap between the rectangles. So important point is here to drawing the histogram, there is no space between the two rectangles. So on the basis of this we can solve the problems of the exercise. So let's start. Question number 2 of the exercise 5.1. The shoppers who come to a departmental store are marked as man for M, woman W, B for boy and G for girl. The following list gives the shoppers who came during the first hour in the morning. W, W, W like this, G, M, G, W, B, G, W. These are the datas for the shoppers. Make a frequency distribution table using tally marks, drawing a bar graph to illustrate it also. So let's take the given data into the table, as we have to make the tally for the each shopper and we can write the frequency for that. As here we can observe M is tally marks, there are 15, so we can write frequency is 15, W is for 28, B is 5 and G is 12. So for the drawing this on the graph, we take the category of shoppers on the x-axis, that is horizontal axis, and the number of shoppers on the vertical axis, that is y-axis. As there is 15 men, so we can take the number of shoppers on the y-axis as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. That is equal space between the two datas we have taken on the y-axis and equal space also between the bars, as we can observe. So this is the rectangle for men, it goes up to the height 15. The rectangle for the woman, that goes up to the height 28. For boys, that is for up 5, and girls, the height of this rectangle is 12. So we have to mention the scale also in the graph. Right hand side topmost corner we have to write the scale, that on the y-axis we are representing 1 centimeter or 1 unit as 10 shoppers.